What's good, y'all? I'm here with another video. Today we're gonna be reacting to some WrestleMania 8 superstars who surprisingly beat Brock Lesnar clean. I'm probably gonna know some of these matches, but then again, it says surprisingly beat Brock Lesnar, so you never know. It's probably gonna be somebody crazy. I think I could think of one person though. I think it's Bob Holly, but other than that, I don't know who else would be surprising. But let's just get into the video so we can see.
Brock Lesnar is one of the most protected superstars in WWE history. This means that WWE have been reserved in booking Lesnar to lose big matches,
Good match,
if
good
they
match.
decide to book him to lose, it's usually not a clean finish. However, there are wrestlers that have managed to defeat Lesnar without any hijinks whatsoever. But which wrestlers were they? Well, join us now as WrestleMania looks at 8 WWE superstars who have defeated Brock Lesnar clean. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Number 8, Drew McIntyre.
Okay.
Brock Lesnar is often criticized for being selfish in the ring, when in fact this couldn't be further from the truth. When Lesnar began to feud with Drew McIntyre in 2020,
it's a 50-50 type thing because there are some times where Brock Lesnar has won and he didn't need to. Like, for example, Brock Lesnar didn't need to defeat Kofi Kingston that fast. I get what they were doing. They wanted a surprising thing because it was like, what was it, the first time SmackDown was on Fox or whatever? That didn't need to happen. Big E should have been in the main event picture. Brock Lesnar didn't need to be in day one. Like, he didn't, like, he was in the chamber. Sometimes he be in things that he don't need to be.
Lesnar did everything he possibly could to present Drew as the next big star in WWE. This all began at the Royal Rumble when Drew eliminated Lesnar in the match. The two would then meet in the main event of Night 2 of WrestleMania 36, and although the main event showdown was short, Lesnar put over Drew clean in order for him to win his first ever WWE Championship. Thanks to Drew's victory, he was now in a position to carry WWE programming over the next 12 months throughout the global pandemic. Without Lesnar being defeated clean, it's possible that fans could have thought that McIntyre wasn't a good enough champion. Number 7, Seth Rollins. There were a total of 2 pay-per-view matches between Brock Lesnar and Seth Rollins in 2019. The first was when the two met at WrestleMania 35, and this would be a match that Rollins would win. This would be classed as a clean win for Rollins, as he had to utilize a low blow to finally put Lesnar down. However, when the two once again met in the main event of SummerSlam, things were much different.
Yeah, I wasn't really watching during this time. I remember seeing that he beat Brock Lesnar during this time. But like, WrestleMania 35 was in 2018, 2019. Yeah, I wasn't watching during that time.
The two embarked on a war which saw Rollins hit a total of 3 curb stomps to defeat Lesnar for the Universal title. This time, it was a clean victory. The match received rave reviews from fans, praising both the match quality and Lesnar's selling ability, which made Rollins look like the biggest star in the entire company.
Lesnar can sell.
Number 6, Chris Benoit. In 2003, WWE began to make it their mission to make Chris Benoit a main event superstar. The WWE roster was short on top babyfaces, and they hoped that Benoit could easily transition into the main event scene. Benoit was popular, and he was one of the best in-ring workers in the entire world, meaning he could have fantastic pay-per-view matches, which would resonate. I know his past is, it's pretty dark, you know what I'm saying? But as far as his wrestling career, man, he definitely was a hell of a wrestler. With the ruthless aggression era audience,
it really sucks.
This push for Benoit truly began to take form at the 2003 Survivor Series.
Only mental health was taken
Team
seriously.
Lesnar versus Team Angle traditional Survivor Series matchup, and Benoit would be a key part of Team Angle. Brock Lesnar was the reigning WWE champion at the time, and although his title wasn't up for grabs, Benoit made an incredible statement in the match. He would perform a crossface on Lesnar, making Lesnar tap out. And nobody saw this coming, and it received an enormous pop from the live audience. And with Benoit now having a major submission victory over the champion, WWE booked a feud between Lesnar and Benoit, which highlighted Benoit's babyface passion. Now, although Benoit came up short in the feud with Lesnar, he would go on to win the 2004 Royal Rumble, eventually winning the world title from Triple H in the main event of WrestleMania 20. Number 5, Triple H. One of Brock Lesnar's most infamous WrestleMania matches was without a doubt his WrestleMania 29 showdown with Triple H.
Just another thing of Triple H winning for no reason.
After Lesnar had broken the arms of both Triple H and Shawn Michaels. Their first match against each other would take place at the 2012 SummerSlam pay-per-view, and this would result in a victory for Lesnar via submission. The highly anticipated rematch between the two was then set for WrestleMania 29 in a no-holds-barred matchup. But going into the match, fans were expecting Lesnar to make a major statement at WrestleMania and pin the WWE legend. However, when WWE decided to announce that Triple H's career would be on the line in the match, fans knew that the outcome was a foregone conclusion. Triple H was never going to retire in 2013, and the stipulation just ruined the match outcome. However, Triple H would need various weapons and even an assist from Shawn Michaels to win the match. But due to the match being no holds barred, this technically would be classed as a clean victory for Triple H, as it didn't cheat or go against the stipulation sanctions of the match itself. Number 4, Kurt Angle. One of the most acclaimed rivalries in WWE history was the feud between Kurt Angle and Brock Lesnar.
If you haven't watched the Iron Man match with him and Brock Lesnar on SmackDown,
the two had a number of high-profile matches, including a WrestleMania main event and also an Iron Man match on SmackDown in 2003.
That WrestleMania match
the two had tremendous chemistry, and every match they had against each other delivered something new and exciting. Their SummerSlam match in 2003 was no exception, as the two delivered a stellar match which is often forgotten about by fans. For their SummerSlam showdown, Angle would be a babyface while Lesnar would be the heel. This was a complete contrast to their WrestleMania main event encounter, and it made for spectacular viewing. The finish of the match came when Angle managed to make Lesnar tap out to the ankle lock for the huge submission victory. Following Angle's victory, he officially became the first WWE superstar to make Lesnar tap out. Number 3, Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar have had a number of pay-per-view matches, with some of them being acclaimed by fans, while some of them have a rather negative reputation. Their first one-on-one encounter took place at WrestleMania 31. This match received widespread praise as it was a highly entertaining main event and featured Seth Rollins cashing in his Money in the Bank contract.
That was a highlight.
The two would have several more pay-per-view encounters, including a main event match at WrestleMania 34, which fans labeled as one of the worst main events in WrestleMania history. Reigns wouldn't secure a clean victory over Lesnar until the SummerSlam pay-per-view in 2000.
Would y'all rather watch Roman Reigns' WrestleMania 34 match or WrestleMania 32 match? Neither.
2018. And although Lesnar was pinned 1-2-3 by Reigns, the finish of the match was rather controversial. As Lesnar had a chair in his hand as Reigns hit the spear, the chair awkwardly landed on Lesnar's face. This meant that Lesnar had to physically remove the chair, which resulted in him raising his shoulder off the mat. Nevertheless, it was an official clean win for Reigns. In the years that followed, their rivalry would continue, and the two would face off once again at the Crown Jewel pay-per-view in 2021. Reigns would be victorious in the showdown, but due to Reigns' new heel persona, it wasn't a clean victory for the head of the table. Number 2, John Cena.
And they fought, and then they fought at WrestleMania 38 to put the titles together. And now we in a situation where the bloodline feud is going on, and Roman still has the titles, but he really isn't defending it against anybody for real. Well, Jay is fighting for it at SummerSlam, but we know he's not winning. I feel like this bloodline storyline could have kept going if Cody had the titles, but I digress, man.
Brock Lesnar returned to WWE in 2012. He was a total contrast to the Lesnar that departed the WWE all the way back in 2004. This version of Lesnar was now one of the most legitimate fighters in the history of UFC, and he was finally back in the squared circle. Lesnar's first match back would be an Extreme Rules match against John Cena at the 2012 Extreme Rules pay-per-view. Fans expected Lesnar to soundly defeat Cena, as there was no better way to re-solidify Lesnar than a clean victory over WWE's biggest star.
He shouldn't have won.
This isn't what happened, as Cena would hit an attitude adjustment on Lesnar on the steel steps before pinning Lesnar for the clean victory. And number 1, Goldberg. Former world champion Goldberg hasn't just defeated Brock Lesnar once, he's managed to do it twice. The first time he did it was at WrestleMania 20, as the two met in an underwhelming encounter which was infamous, as both men were leaving WWE, and it would act as their final match of their respective contracts. When Goldberg returned to WWE television in 2016, he was set for a WrestleMania rematch with Lesnar at the Survivor Series pay-per-view. Shockingly, WWE booked Goldberg to outright squash Lesnar in just 1 minute 26 seconds. Now, nobody saw this coming, as fans expected Lesnar to obtain the victory, but when Lesnar was squashed, it became one of the most shocking moments in WWE history. Now, according to reports at the time, it was Lesnar's idea to have Goldberg squash him. Lesnar believed that the squash would re-legitimize Goldberg, and there would be a ton of money in yet another rematch between the two legends. Lesnar was actually right, as the two would meet at WrestleMania 33 for the Universal title in a match that was well received by fans. It saw Lesnar finally get his win back over Goldberg. But there you have it, folks, a WWE Super...
Well, that's the end of the video. Goldberg overstayed his welcome after that, which I didn't like. But, hey man, it is what it is. That was a good video. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, and I'm out, man.